Hi, I'm doing Paul McWhorter's Pico W lessons, and I'm up to lesson number 120, which is all about using a card reader. Now, Paul had on his breadboard the servo and the RGB LED and two buttons, so I thought I may as well use them in this solution. Just a quick look at my hardware. The buttons, I've done the trick of straightening out one of the legs so you can plug it straight into your ground rail, so you aren't having to straddle the gully or whatever you call it in the middle, which is neater. My RGB LED, I don't have a wire going to blue because I don't use blue, and apart from that, my power rail at the front is 3.3, my power rail at the back is for the servo at 5 volts. So that's kind of my hardware. My software, I'm using Pico 0 because it's so much easier to cope with the servo and the button and the RGB LED. So I'm coming down here, and first of all, this is very similar to Paul's. I'm just reading the card and I'm looking at what is in the text, and if it's authorized, it will unlock the system and say who unlocked it and start the timer. Otherwise, I just lock the system. Coming down here, I'll come back to all of that. We'll go down to the main bit of the program. Right, I've got a class G, which is to avoid global variables, so I just, if I want to access any of them, I go g.servopos, g.locked. Setting up the reader, that is how you set up buttons using Pico 0, jolly simple, and then you can just go like that. So it means that when the button is pressed, you call servo plus or servo minus. Excuse me, and you don't have open close bracket after that, because otherwise it will not work. Then that RGB color is just a tuple, which means that it's an easy way. So if it's locked, locked is true, therefore you it's 1, so that's red for locked and green for unlocked. I'm setting up the LED, RGB LED, but I haven't connected to blue because I'm not using it. Right. Opening the servo position file with a width, so much easier with a width, and then setting it to the position to 0 if the file wasn't found, setting up the servo value position. Then all I've got in the while true loop is read, which goes off and reads the card. And if I press Ctrl C, I stop the timer and I turn the LED off. So what do we have here? Really, next thing to look at is set lock. If I call set lock with false or true, if I go set lock, that value lock it is either true or false. If it's true, I'm locking it, therefore g locked equals lock it. I set the color to the RGB color 1, which is red, and then if I'm locking it, I actually am reinitializing the timer. And the reason for that is if you swipe a card and you're authorized, you unlock everything and you set the timer for 5 seconds. But then if you swipe another card before the 5 seconds is up, you don't want the timer to still be going. So that means if you swipe, comes in there, if you've swiped, go away. If you come in there when you've swiped a card and it isn't authorized, you don't want the timer to carry on, so it just stops the timer. And if you come in and it isn't locked, you just set G-lock to false and you set the color to green, and that is about it, I believe. So that's lock it, which was up there. No, set lock, sorry, that was set lock up there. So the main body of the thing is when you press a button. So if you press the up button, if it's locked, it just says it's locked and goes back. Otherwise, you start the timer, and then you, which is down here, start timer is just setting the timer with a period of 5 seconds, and it's a one-shot timer. And when the callback after your 5 seconds goes to time's up, which is just calling set lock with true, which is exactly what you want to do. Back up here, the not a lot's happening here really. So servo plus, you're just saying if you're increasing the angle and it's already at 180, you don't do anything. Otherwise, you just save the position. The servo minus is doing exactly the same thing, and saving the position, you just set the value and save it. I think I have covered everything, a lot more than you wanted. Right, so we'll try running this. Right, place the card, or it says initial servo position is 60, place the card to unlock. So we will unlock it. And hurrah, it goes green. You go, oh, that's just a jolly nice colour green, what shall I do? Oh no, too late. And the buttons aren't enabled. So you try again. And this time it's gone green, and you can move the servo. You can move the servo like anything, and as long as you carry on moving the servo, your 5 seconds aren't up. But then you think, oh, I'll just have a rest, and it goes green, and go rats. So you think, I'll try again. Oh, I forgot to say, look, when you unlock it with the card, it says Charlotte is authorized, which is good because it's my program. So try another card. Right, Paul is blocked. You're not authorized to move the servo. Oh, that's very sad. So red light, buttons don't work. Try that. And you think, okay, I can do things, and then I'll do that. And it's overrided the first card, and it's saying no, you can't move it, it's red. But you can still go back like that and go like that, and well, that's about all it does really.